Two Cops, One Donut. I'm your host, Sergeant Erik Lavigne. Before we get started, here's a quick disclaimer. The views and opinions you're about to hear are those of the hosts and guests alone. They don't represent any police department, agency, sponsor, or employer. Two Cops, One Donut isn't responsible for anything said by guests or for any videos, clips, or content shown during the live stream. This show is intended for adult audiences only. We cover real incidents, we show graphic and sometimes disturbing footage, and we don't shy away from strong language or adult conversations. There may or may not also be alcohol involved. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Everything you hear or see on the show is for entertainment and educational purposes. It is not legal advice and it's not tactical instruction, and it shouldn't be used for such. By continuing to watch, you're telling us that you understand, you accept all of this. All right, now let's get into it. All right, let's go. Two Cops, One Donut. I'm your host, Erik Lavigne, and I am on here on a Friday night, which I never do, because I'm on military orders right now, and my time is all screwed up. So with my time being all screwed up, I got to jump on some lives occasionally when I can. It doesn't look like Sunday night's going to work out for me because they got me working all sorts of weird hours that I am not used to. So I got to get sleep when I can and do what I can. All this Iran stuff's got things going crazy for us. So this ain't a woe is me thing. It's just I'm used to regular police work where it's a stable schedule and I can do all the stuff that I want to do at a normal time. And currently, that is not working out for me. I am on crappy internet, by the way. So that's the other thing. I'm on Wi-Fi, which I would never do normally, but that's all I have. So we'll see how that works out. I'm currently trying to go live on Instagram and TikTok, but I am getting no love from what I can see right now on Instagram. I don't know why it's not connecting. No idea if it's going to go live on TikTok at all. From what I'm seeing on my TikTok, on my phone, it doesn't look like it's working on there either. It is what it is. Rogue Nation in the house. What's up, brother? See, Marine Bloods is in there. Twitchy Skitch was the first one on. Dead Leg Media is on. He said, "You want company?" Always jump on. I'm always down. I don't care who comes on tonight. I'm just trying to get out there and let's talk and just test some fun shit. If I get Dead Leg on here, maybe he can figure out why the hell TikTok and Instagram are not going live for me right now. I'm trying. It says connect streaming software. I did that. I copied the stream key. I'm looking at my shit. It's trying to send the data to Instagram, it says, but I see nothing. According to this, TikTok is streaming, but I don't know. If anybody can for me, can somebody go check out TikTok and tell me if it's streaming? I don't know how to check from my phone, and I don't see it doing anything on my regular page. So if somebody could be so kind to go to our Two Cops, One Donut TikTok and just let us know in the chat if it's working. But yeah, oh, Mr. Billfold's in the house. What's up? He says, I can't see Twitchy Skitch chats in the chat box. That's weird. I don't know why. He says, I only see Dead Legs. Maybe it's because they're mods. Maybe the mods are being hidden somehow. I didn't do that. Maybe they did that. I don't know. Maybe they blocked you, Mr. B. Maybe they're like, fuck that guy. Tonight I'm drinking a little Panther Island Brewing, which is right out of Fort Worth. And it's a hazy. It's called Hazy Cat. For those that are not familiar with Fort Worth, their whole, their what do you call it? I don't want to call it their logo. It's not their logo as much as it's their pet, their animal for the city, is a panther. So they're the Panther City. There's a big long story behind it that's not interesting, and I don't want to talk about it, but that's what Fort Worth's known for. So just know that. And that's why it's called Panther Island Brewing. I think that's the whole name. Let me make sure I get it correct. Panther Island Brewing, yeah. And that's a good little hazy. Dead Leg said, my audio mixer just crashed. Give me a second. I don't know if you guys have had it. I have had a cough for I feel like it's 2 weeks now. I'm going on longer. So I apologize ahead of time if you hear me coughing. It's been sticking with me, especially when I lay down. Banning said he's got it too. I think my kiddos, after I left, they ended up getting sick. So it's probably me. Mr. Billfold said, are we doing 2 streams again? Hell yeah, we're doing as many streams as we can. We're doing them all. I don't care how many we got. We're trying to hit them all tonight. I'm trying to hit the TikTok thing. I really want to know if the TikTok thing's working. If anybody's out there in the chat and you are a part of our TikTok, please let me know if it's showing up on the live. It says it is on my software here, but that doesn't always mean it is. Because for some reason, our Instagram is not. I'm going to try it again. We'll see. Make it a public. I got a really good video that I want to talk about too. It was shared with me today. All right. I am going to try one last time to get this. Get this Instagram working. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's not even wanting to. He says, you motherfuckers got to stop playing tricks on me. Oh, shotguns and tattoos in the house. What's going on, shotguns? I'm trying not to cough in the mic, so just bear with me. Yeah, Instagram is not wanting it. It's probably the shitty internet connection is really what it is. You may get audio issues tonight. I don't blame you if you guys don't want to stick around. I figured I'd try to struggle through one of these. See what happens. But I'm still waiting to see somebody confirm or deny for me TikTok. If somebody could go to our TikTok page and let me know if it's showing up on the live, that will help me. I just want to see what's working and what's not tonight. I'm number 1 in the other chat with just Dead Leg. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for Dead Leg. Does this little guy? I'm gonna wait for Dead Leg to jump on once he gets his audio mixer and all that stuff working. And I really only have this one video I want to discuss, and I think we can discuss it for a while. But it is a man getting not just thrown out, but locked up, getting arrested at a town hall meeting. And we've had these talks before. There are times you can get arrested at a town hall meeting, even though it's a public forum. And then there's times that I think you probably shouldn't. So we're going to watch this video, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. And what's Marine Bloods talking about here? We can't host links on that one. We can post links on this one. Oh, post links. I see what he's saying. Those Sunday streams kill me. Sorry. We're definitely not going to have one. Well, I'm not going to be on one this Sunday. If the guys want to throw one, that's fine. I'm all about them setting up and doing it without me. You don't need me. I'm just a pretty mustache on the show. By the way, how creepy is this damn mustache? Oh my God. When I get on these lives and I start looking, I just hate it. I hate this mustache, but I hate how I look even more with nothing. The beard has spoiled me. I wish the military would let me have a beard without having to cheat and get some sort of stupid waiver, which I refuse to do because I have integrity. I don't need a shaving waiver for any reason. I'm not going to claim that I have some fake religion that I don't follow just to have one. I don't get shaving bumps, which I will give those guys the ones that have shaving waivers because their face gets jacked. Like, I understand. Like, I've seen that. Like, those guys need one, but Chester vibes. 100%. I know. God, I hate it. I love that you guys are so honest with me, though. That's cool. StreamYard needs permissions to post links on each platform. Well, we ain't on StreamYard. We're on Restream. But as soon as Deadleg hops on, we're going to jump on that. I had some. I'm gonna let you guys know I had a really good talk with Skydio today. A really good talk, and so I'm not going to count any chickens before they're hatched. But just know, I'm very excited to possibly be working with them. I hear Deadleg in the background. There he is. He made it.
I love this thing that it was not the price of a Roadcaster or any of the other ones, except when it doesn't work. And then I'm like, you know what? I just need to bite the bullet and get a Roadcaster or get something. But when it's working, it's great. And I was one of it was an early adapter or like the founders, one of like the early people. So I'm in their beta program, so I get access to all their early stuff. But when it works, it's awesome because it wasn't that price. But when it doesn't work,
what is with this clean, smooth baby face I'm seeing?
What did I shave? Oh, I shaved. So Chinese New Year. I don't know exactly how the festival works, but it started a couple weeks ago, and then the Lantern Festival was on Tuesday. So that's the end of Chinese New Year, their festival. So I cleaned up for that.
Okay, look at you. We have this. I don't know what to call it. A temple where I work in the city, and it is like the ones that you see in the movies. Like, it's huge. It's got the big I don't know if it's wax paper or whatever that is, those lantern balls and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the candles that they float up into the sky and all that stuff. I mean, they do it all. everything, monks walking around. I mean, it's awesome. It makes me want to just be their religion just because it's so cool.
They have China has a lot. It's one of those things that sometimes you cannot like your government but love your country. Yeah, I've got to spend a lot of time over there because my wife's she's from China, not she didn't get adopted by a family. She's China. So I've got to see China. The first time I got to visit was on my birthday in 20. It was before I got hurt, so it was before 2017, but it was a while ago. And on Christmas Eve, got to spend my birthday in China. Got to spend Christmas Day in China, and then on the 26th, we went to Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square on Christmas Day. So I got to see all of that, and I don't like some of the things that in America. I've been across the country.
Mm-hmm.
We don't understand the grasp of scale of how big things are in other places. It's freaking huge. And I spent the entire day walking through this place, and they had a special guide for us to take us around. So I could see all kinds of cool stuff. And we spent the entire day there, and they showed us on the map. You're like, we only did this little section here. I'm like,
yeah.
So then the next day after that, I got to go see the Great Wall, which again, is one of those things that you don't understand. Everything that you see there, someone had to physically bring that up the mountain and put it there. Yeah. And it's all rock and stone. So it's all heavy stuff. And it's not like you're walking through a field. It's going on top of a mountain. So I've got to see a lot of cool things about China. And then the Lantern Festival is one of the things. They have a big winter festival over there. The city where my wife is from, they have a big festival where they go out and they get these giant chunks of ice from the rivers that are frozen, and then they bring them into the city, and build these they bring cranes in. They're 2 and 3 stories tall, just massive ice structures, and it'll run through the winter season. So they got a lot of cool things.
Little known fact about me: I am a huge kung fu film fan. I'm all the way back to the 80s. Like, I love them all. My favorite series, it's pretty popular anyways. It's probably the most popular series for kung fu, but I just think it's so well done, is Ip Man. I love all the Ip Man, Wing Chun kung fu movies. Love it. But one of my favorite things about it is being able to see China and Japan and all of the history, because they do talk about the historical issues that they had between each other. And I was like, I wouldn't know any of that stuff.
It's one of the other things too, is like with World War, like Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, and like that got us into World War II, and then we dropped the bomb on the 2 bombs, and like we think that was what it was, but we don't it's not really talked about in American schools or growing up. Like, I didn't really understand how big of an influence the Japan was on invading China.
Right.
And they had the whole room 716 or the 716. There's a whole military division that their whole job, like, we think Nazi Germany was bad.
Yeah.
These guys make them look like
They went
camp for kids.
Medieval.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I won't describe. That will probably get you this kicked off all the channels.
Yeah,
to start
we
describing
won't
what it is. So we're not going to get there, but just whatever you're thinking that we can't say, that's exactly what it is.
Yep. Yep. I like Mr. Billfold bringing up Drunken Master. Also very awesome. Sorry, I'm gonna be coughing a lot. I apologize. It's I'm trying to hold it in. But yeah, I'm with you. Drunken Master, good stuff.
You gotta get off that cocaine, man.
I know, jeez. I love the comment that they said we look like men not to trust around diapers. I don't disagree with you right now. We got some Eddie Freddy vibes going on.
I definitely would keep me away from children if I see me. But what's crazy is I'm awesome. I love kids, but I guess that's
part of their problem.
Playing into it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of the problem.
Maybe I'll just stop talking.
Well, I'm going down a trail I don't want to go down. Okay, let's jump into a video then. Let's do this. So while you were trying to fix your stuff, I don't have I didn't have anything prepped for a body cam review, but I do have a video that's a little longer in nature, and I have a feeling it's going to keep a conversation going for a while. So we'll go down that path and see where it goes. So let
Alice in Wonderland.
Let me share this Facebook. Now I'm not sure how this is going to show. So okay, that's eating up the screen pretty good.
I love that even on the road, you got a nice lighting setup.
I know, baby. Yeah, that's why I bought those things. They were only like
portable.
Yeah. Yep. I got them on sale. They're magnetic, so I can magnetize them to things if I wanted to. I can change the colors, the brightness, all that cool stuff. And they were $25 a piece. They're on sale. Normally they're about $45 a piece. So,
and they don't mess with the refresh rate with cameras.
Yes. They're by
more important is this.
Okay, let me see. Is there a biggie size version? I think that's just how the frame's going to look. So let me see which one looks better before we get going. Oh, that looks better. All right. Let me hit play on this guy. Tell me if it's too loud.
It's past 3 minutes.
Sounds okay.
I'm going to rewind it a little bit. It's hard to tell what he says. What this guy is saying is that your 3 minutes are up to the guy that's speaking. So that's why this cop's turned around and looked. He's looking at the man that just said that. So I'm going to rewind it so you can hear it again. I have watched this video. Deadleg has not, but
I've not seen this one.
This is not a body cam review. We're not trying to pretend we're the cop in the call. We're going to actually just discuss this one.
It's past 3 minutes. It's past 3 minutes.
No allegation of fraud, no allegation of supervisors.
That's wrong, man.
We received nothing. We received that on January 28th, 2026.
You don't gotta touch me. I can step out myself. Okay. You ain't gotta touch me, dude.
Go ahead.
You ain't gotta touch me.
Okay, so the first thing I want to point out in this whole thing is that you didn't hear anybody on the council that the speaker was addressing who's generally in charge of the forum. So whether it's city council or the mayor, nobody told that cop to put this guy out. Okay. So I'm already, all the bells and whistles are going off for me. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This doesn't look right already. So what's your opinion so far?
The first one is like the public forum, if it said what it is, and he's talking about the time, that is a thing.
That is a thing.
Yeah, everybody gets the same equal amount of time, and that means the same equal amount of time. If you don't finish your 3 minutes, that's one thing, but you can't go over and take extra time because then everybody else has to be allotted the same extra time. So if it's 15 seconds, everyone should get the same 15 seconds.
I agree. And that is kind of the argument. Oh, I like this view. And that's kind of the argument that that guy, that's why he said it out loud. He's like, hey, you're over your 3 minutes. Like, we each get 3 minutes. That's not right. And this guy is a known public figure. So he feels like this guy's getting preferential treatment, which looks like that could be the case.
And he wasn't belligerent.
No, nothing that would, because there are rules in public forums. If you are a disturbance that causes the forum to be disrupted and all of that is one of those times you actually can be removed. But that still has to be a complaint. Like, the cop can't initiate that. That has to be on behalf of the forum and who's in charge of that and the building and all that stuff. So, but it wasn't inciting anything. It wasn't, like I said, we're really, really, like, we're not even in gray area. Like, this is just an overt crushing of one man's rights. So let's keep going. Oh, and this is the thing. Now, I've seen this, but okay, we're removing him. Maybe we're going to have a talk with him. Maybe we're just going to take him outside to talk. Hey, you can't do that. No loud outbursts. I understand what you mean, but just know that for the future, and then you can go sit back down. That's what I was expecting.
Bless you.
What did I do wrong? What did you do? What I do wrong? What are you doing? I'm not looking. My hands on my back, bro. I'm not listening.
Give him some space.
Bro, I am not fighting back.
Good. I know you're not ready.
I am relaxed. Bro, you the one keep yanking my arm. I can't do that. Both my arms. Look, my head, I'm putting it together.
Give me a cup.
What are y'all tripping on? Bro, I'm not fighting back. Bro, look at out there. I'm broke.
Relax.
Okay, so the cops are having trouble cuffing this guy. I don't believe it's because he's resisting. He is a big dude, and big dudes have a hard time. Like, you get too big. You got to
double cuff them
and
or triple cuff on big guys.
Yeah, because there's a running joke because some of these really buff guys like can't wipe their own ass. Like, that's part of the fun. I see Wade's in the house. What's up, Wade? I'm not ignoring you, buddy. I see you out there. But yeah, this guy ain't resisting. They're having trouble. They were trying to get him cuffed in one set, and then that wasn't working. Now what I'm really curious for is, what the fuck are we arresting this guy for?
That's exactly where I mean. What's the criminal charge?
What's our offense?
Just because if it's disturbing the peace, you turned around and told him to stop and leave, and he did exactly what you asked.
Yeah,
So a DA is going to look at that and go, okay, we're going to try to resolve this at the lowest level. Did what happened stop and the forum continue? All right, then there's no need to go forward.
Right. Yeah, you don't have a complainant. That's the other thing. Well, who made the complaint that they were disturbed? Oh, the officer turned around with his fucking eagle eyes and he didn't
stars on his. I did notice he had some stars on his lapel.
Oh, did he? Either way, it's already horseshit. So let's keep going here.
You put him on arm, dude.
We're putting handcuffs on you.
Fuck, dude. Bro, you don't have to do that out my hands or
Big
volunteer.
deal out of nothing, dude. You're a big guy. Relax, bro.
Bro, this
Relax.
dude,
He's not doing anything that we.
he's putting my arm down, bro.
relax.
Oh, damn it.
Just relax.
Damn it.
Relax.
Bro, I'm good.
Yeah, he does have stars. Then I see that might be the chief.
So aside from everything, like people react like that sometimes because they don't know what's going on. So if you just talk to people like people and explain, hey, this is what's going on. This is happening. Let us get these handcuffs on. Well, you don't have to go into a whole on narrative at the time, but you can you can get to a point. You can answer his questions and go, why are we doing this? Why am I being detained?
Yeah.
So it seems like he's under arrest. What am I under arrest for? Like, I understand that the Miranda rights, and if we're not asking questions, that the whole, but you'd still have to let him know what he's being charged with.
Yep.
Hey, you're detained. You're under suspicion of this. Hey, you're being arrested for this.
Right. Oh, keep
'Cause if
watching.
not-
It gets better. We're almost halfway through. And I want you to keep that in mind about what he's being arrested for. And Mr. Billfold said, not a single of the dozen officers on scene give a shit about rights. And right now I agree with you 100%, because there's no fucking way. Assuming I know everything that happened, because some of these officers could be walking into him and be like, hey, the chief's making an arrest. Let's go help him. They don't know.
This is where the qualified immunity, I'm not a lawyer, but this is where qualified immunity, this is why it exists. Because
right. Yeah, because
the
you just,
2 or 3 guys that are coming afterwards, they see a person resisting arrest. So
or they just
they're
do a loud commotion and then they're trying to arrest somebody. So they just come
Yep,
in and
they're
like, "All right,
going, you're going to react. You're going to start. And then if they use force and something happens, and it turns out that because Chief Dingling here doesn't have a right to do anything from the get-go, then all of this was for nothing.
right.
Then when it comes down to who gets responsible and who's charged with what and who pays out, and it's like the people that are like come on after the fact, that's why it's called qualified. It's not just a blanket thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Twitchy said city councils and legislative district officials are so ignorant for Robert's rule of order that this kind of stuff happens routinely. And I agree, it does. It's sad how ignorant they are. I agree. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying not to cough into the mic. Mr. Billfold said, but it's only 1% of cops. I guess this part of Texas has 80% of that 1%. Fuck you, Billfold.
at least in this hallway right now.
yeah, right. But he's pretty right. Gerald Kern in the house, he said, have been wrongfully arrested and sent to jail only to have charges dropped. It's terrifying when you know you did nothing wrong. This is cringy, having been on that side. And I'm trying to get Gerald Kern on the show, y'all, because he is 100% right. He had me involved from the beginning of all the bullshit that happened to him. We just have not linked up to get him on the show to talk about his stuff because I didn't want him to ruin any type of lawsuit or anything like that he may have been pushing, and rightfully so. I have known Gerald for a long time, and I know his personality. I know the type of dude he is, and I know that all the charges on him were bogus. So when he hit me up and told me, it's good stuff. So we'll get Gerald on. He'll share his story. Gerald's actually got 2 really good stories about cops screwing up. So I want you guys to hear both of those from Gerald. But Gerald's a good friend, and I want you guys to hear his stuff. But he is right. He was wrongfully arrested, and he will be able to tell you more about that. So, but yeah, for cops that just show up, I'm not trying to copsplain, but I've been in this situation before where I just see cops swarming and trying to get somebody under control, and I know my level of control tactics. So my hope every time I get involved is that I can get there without any punches having to be thrown, and that officers don't, I'm there to be a cooler. I'm trying to help everybody get the thing under control calmly. So, yeah, on this one, he's a big guy, so it's hard to get his arms behind his back, and it's gonna hurt him.
I will give it to the one guy. He was explaining, like, he just telling him, like,
Yes,
you're a big guy. He literally just said what we were saying. You're
Yeah.
a big guy.
yeah.
Okay.
And both sides were being really cool. The cops were being cool, and this guy was being cool. He was cool the whole time. He got loud because he's in pain, which is understandable. But even then, he was still able to keep his emotions under check, I think.
I would get loud because I would be asking this. I'm like, because other people are going to ask the same question. Why is he being arrested? Why is he being detained? Why is he being put in handcuffs?
Right. So
how did has to be a legal, there's some justification to that at some point.
Yeah.
I hope.
And tonight, while I'm thinking about it, Dad, like, let's not forget to make an announcement about all the cool shit you got going on coming up. I've been following your social media stuff, so I want to make sure we don't forget to do that. Okay. All right, let's keep playing.
I'm good. What did I do wrong?
Hey, first.
Bro, don't let her reach into his pocket. Dude, oh man.
You can follow us outside and record all you want.
I am recording. Actually, I'm live.
You got a patrol unit that can bring it around.
Bro, I didn't do that. Go get a roster.
I got you.
Thank you.
For interfering, bro?
You didn't even do it.
For interfering?
No.
Nice to meet you, bro. I didn't do that. I just broke my glasses, bro. Bro, can you say my
You said
glasses?
about 3 minutes being up. That's it.
All your property to your
For
wife.
sure, of course. What I do wrong, though?
I know. You didn't
They said I volunteered at the meeting. I didn't do nothing. And then he said, I put my arms by myself. He said, trying to break me wrong, man.
Relax. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
To tell Landis to relax.
I'm gonna hand all your property to your wife.
Yeah, that's cool.
Before the phone calls out of your pocket, who do you want to get that phone?
My wife.
No, but you can have your phone in case you. So what is he getting arrested
Yeah,
for?
he said.
Are y'all arresting him?
Yeah, I don't even know what I did. He
What
said
did-
involuntary or messing up the meeting.
What did you do? You didn't do anything.
I don't know.
said something. Everybody was saying stuff.
I'm going to put that phone back in there, right? You want to keep them right this way?
Wait, do I have to keep my phone?
Yeah, keep it. In case you have
This is silly, man. This is silly, man.
Stand by, everybody.
So he's claiming that he messed up the meeting. We all watched the same thing. There was not a single fucking complaint that this guy did anything to ruin that meeting or disturb that meeting to a point where they couldn't continue. As a matter of fact, the guy kept talking throughout the whole thing. So how did he ruin anything?
I will say though, if you are ever in this situation, try to be as calm as this guy is right here. Because every bit of this will come back in court and they're going to go, where was he being unreasonable? Where is he being disruptive? Where is he being disorderly?
All he did was call out a rule.
And even then, how loud was it? How many people, because we're got to get a forensic sound expert in, but how many people in those couple of rows? Because they were a couple of rows back. And that seemed like it was a big room. How many people actually heard it? Because it wasn't that loud.
Right.
Because we didn't hear it when we had to play it twice in the beginning to hear it.
Yeah. And there were other people talking anyway. But all right, let's keep going.
Bro, what am I going to jail for, dog?
I need to know who the arresting officer is. Who's arresting him?
Who's the arresting officer?
Landis is.
Who is the arresting officer?
I appreciate that, man. Landis started putting his hands on me like, come on, bro.
Can I ask y'all what y'all are charging him with?
What am I being arrested for?
Exactly. So what are they arresting him for?
I just want to know who's arrested officer.
I know. Thank
They've all
you.
been inside. If they've
Who
been on
is
our
the
payroll,
arresting
that's a problem. Which one of y'all is the arresting officer, sir? Sir, got your name and badge number? That's right. Who's the arresting officer, sir? Doesn't look like you put your hands on.
It's past 3 minutes.
And that is it.
I don't have my JD or legal degree. Never gone to college for law or anything like that. Just a backyard cop. But at some point, the qualified immunity question starts to come off the table because everybody else is going to have to ask the same questions.
Right.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
We just yoked some dude out of the meeting, put him in handcuffs, put him in the back of the car, and everybody's asking the same question. What is he being arrested for? What's the
Even the other
that's a simple that's a simple question. And if it's the chief, the star guy that started us all, then he needs to get out there and swing those stars the entire time. Don't go and point and go, come out here and do. No. If you're making contact, you're the arresting officer, you're making contact, you're the arresting officer.
Yeah.
I get at some point processing, you can hand it off to somebody else because you're a chief or whatever. But if you're starting, you got to get him into the car. If you're yoking him, you're putting a hand but
Yeah. Yeah.
enjoy it. Enjoy your pursuit. Enjoy it. Enjoy.
He's spot on right now because we've seen too many of these. This isn't poor training. This isn't 1%. This is totally part of the LEO culture. This is abuse of lawful authority. This is a higher standard. This is the higher standard as it actually exists with the gotcha moment, with no gotcha moments, cops for the win. And I can't disagree with him on this because this is not the first video I've seen like this. And this was, I mean, so minor. The fact, and you see it right away when that dude turned around, when that chief, it looks like a chief, when he turned around and started eyeballing the guy. Yeah, that's a pretty good impression. Starts eyeballing the guy simply because, hey, 3 minutes are up. That's not fair. That's all he really said. And you're like, oh, fuck that. Not on my watch. You didn't have a complaint.
You're not objecting in a public forum.
You didn't have like literally that is the most beautiful First Amendment right we have. And you fucking stomped all over it like it was nothing to you. And if it's nothing to you as the chief, I'm sorry to the rest of the officers there. That means the culture of that whole department is fucked. That means
it's very simple. Because if you're going to question or look the other way or get in a gray area, because that I didn't know that I was set myself up for qualified immunity by setting myself up because I'm not seeing her. I was just watching. I was like, oh, he's there. Who else on? Oh, we're just doing this. So like the series of events on how we've got to where we're in this conversation right now. Here's where it would apply. And then at some point, here's where it stops applying. Here's where like all of the other people on scene are going to go, I'm going to be on this report. What's going on?
Right.
All right. I'm not on this report anymore. So I'm 10-8. See
ya. I'm out. I'm done. Yeah. This is I'm trying to be jovial and have fun on this, but inside I am so severely pissed off at this one. My level of anger is not showing. I'm trying to keep it subdued. But this is exactly why we have this platform. This is why we do what we do. It is to highlight the good and talk about the bad. This is about without somebody getting hurt, this is one of the worst things I've ever shown on here, in my opinion.
We question right from Jump Street. Because I even said, what you asked him to call, he quit talking. Then you came back and you told him to get up and walk out. He got up and walked out.
Yeah. I mean,
where is he non-complying with the police officers and stuff? I'm trying to find like the stretchiest of stretch.
Yeah. You didn't even ask him to shut up. Whatever it is. You gave him no protection.
Even if he is drunk, he's not belligerent. So you don't even have drunken, like you don't have where do we get to have the ability, the legal authority to remove him from the room from that, and then everything from there, those are bigger zeros. That's another comma on the check that he gets.
Yeah. And Mr. Billfold's right. He said none of the other cops was even concerned with why they were arresting this guy, which I get it. Like you handle security situation first, if that's what you think's going on. Cause you see the chief arresting somebody, and went hands on with the suspect. The suspect must pay, because the chief went hands on, which I get that. My guys were that way just with me as a sergeant. They see Sarge going hands on with somebody because I've had to do that, and they lose their mind. They're like, oh shit, Sergeant's going hands on. We got to go help him. Like,
Yep.
like, relax. Like, I understand that. But you still have to take a time out after the cuffs go on. All right, what do we got? What do we have? I got to know
Before
what
we
we
walk,
have.
before
Yeah.
we remove him from the building and put him in the car, like you're depriving his ability to move freely. You can't. And it's the further you go, the deeper that it gets.
Yeah.
You put him in the like. Okay, we got him out in the hallway. Maybe he was disruptive inside. Now he's not disruptive. All right, you're going to be asked to leave from the building for the day. That's it.
Yeah.
But then you put the handcuffs on and you put him in the car and you take him down to the station and you book him. You make him have to get in like all of that. When you get to the very beginning of why are we there, it's all on camera. The district attorney is going to have to explain to their voters, this is why we brought charges on this person, because this person said, is that 3 minutes are up?
Yeah. Imagine the judge.
And then that's because then, okay, so then that sets the culture for the quorum of that room. Then the other rules in that room don't apply because of the rules are you can't say anything. Okay, well, you can't go over 3 minutes, but he went over 3 minutes. We're just not going to do anything about that. Like if we're just going to enforce every bit of the rule of don't be disruptive, don't go over 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Because then it looks like a one-sided hand. It looks like favoritism. It looks like there's some given that you have to start explaining why. There's the why, the question of why. That's back in the academy days, you're always asked this question, why do we get here? How do we get here? Well, some chief turned around and got a stick up his ass. That's why. And my unprofessional retired opinion.
Yep. Yeah, I'm actually talking to Anthony Bandiero from Gold to Blue. I had sent him this video. I sent him this video earlier today to get his opinion, and all of a sudden he just happened to respond to it. So I'm trying to see. He goes, "Is disrupting a meeting? Isn't he disrupting a meeting? What am I missing?" And so I'm kind of discussing with him.
Because in a way you can, but if you're saying that's disruptive, then then the chairperson, whoever's running the meeting, the city council, like whoever's doing it, then they call the room to quorum. They stop. They cease all proceedings, and then they get order of the room, and then they proceed. You don't selectively just like the only time you selectively start bringing out one or two people is you're looking for an agitators. But if you get to that point, it's way beyond disrupting a meeting. Then you got a protest or a riot or other stuff going on. If you got agitators, this guy just asked, did he go over 3 minutes?
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to see if
And
Anthony wants to jump on.
Yeah, I'm trying to help fill some dead air for you.
You're good.
Oh, because at some point you're like everybody there, like you get, okay, if everyone's out in the hallway on the other side of those doors and the chief's physically pulling someone out, they don't know what happened on the other side of the doors. But at a certain point, once things are under control and the situation is code 4 and you don't need any more units, the person's in custody, you have them in your handcuffs, we're ready. We're at that point and you can slow things down. Once you get to that point, you have to start explaining to things.
Yeah.
Because to me, I just witnessed someone being abducted, kidnapped. Like that's the other side of the legal charge. What just happened? If they don't have an legal authority to do anything, they just kidnap someone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know there's rules of order. I don't.
But that's where the rule of having rules of order, that's where you were saying there's no complainant, there's no victim, there's no one saying, hey, shut up.
Yeah.
Hey, stop talking. Hey, we'll get order. Did he go over 3 minutes? Like there's just the side eye.
Yeah, I know. Nothing.
And then when he goes to get him out, he really doesn't say much to him. It's just he physically pulled, like he knows what's going on. The suspect,
Right. Air quotes.
the future payee,
Yeah.
he doesn't really say much to him. So like from the initiation, like from the, hey, if you don't stop, we're going to remove you from the room.
Yeah.
You have, there's, when you go in front of a judge and you go in front of like there's did you give an opportunity to stop? No.
Yeah. And how do you, okay, let's say you say it's a disruption. Like you say it's a disruption. How do you prove that it's a disruption? Oh, when he talked out, it caused everything to stop. Like people had to adjust, they had to do this, they had to do that. Nothing fucking changed. He said
Until
it.
they got onto the doors.
Yeah. So nothing changed. So how do you even articulate that he was disruptive? You can't.
I would say this was an easy one. This was an easy lawsuit.
I think so. I'm really hoping we get Anthony on. I know it's very last minute and all that shit. So
how fresh is this? Because it seems like it's kind of fresh. Within the last couple of days.
I think so. I don't see a date on this video. Let me see.
Should have one it posted, maybe.
Get out of I'm trying to. I don't. It's not really showing me. Sorry. I do think it's recent.
Well, I was say that's what it makes me think that it's kind of free because it's one of them. I would say more textbook, open, cut, and dry. Of like, what the f did we just see?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this isn't like the ice rolling up in unmarked vehicles abducted. Like this is like in a well-lit room occupied by all kinds of people with accordance to the fire code, witnessed every bit of it.
Yep. Wade said, use the penal code to articulate a crime. I said, I can't. I got nothing. Like I can't articulate that.
And I would say you're local to it because you're in Texas, but you can't, Texas, even like the states, whatever the little city stuff is somewhat nuanced, but it's still Texas law.
Let's back up. Let's say you're the cop in there and you really believe that you have something here. Let's go off of this fairy tale. You do have something. Oh, this guy's disrupting. That's against the law. I can arrest him. Am I still going to arrest him? No. I'm going to turn around and say, hey, dude, I don't want to have to arrest you. Relax. Calm down.
Even the cops that love to do cop work and you love to run and gun and you love to go find drugs and you find guns and even the ones that love to do that, we're all still lazy at heart and don't want to do paperwork on extra crap that we don't really want to spend. I would rather spend time on the paperwork for all this large narcotic seizure, or we found all of these missing kids, or we found these suspects that were this, or we got this DUI off the road before they killed a family. Like I would rather be doing that than what?
Yeah.
Are you over 3 minutes? Like, is that an effective use of your time?
You want to know what my personal opinion is on this one? I'll tell you what my personal opinion is on this. That since you pointed out the stars, because I didn't notice that the first time I watched it, I believe that was a chief trying to show out for the city council and the mayor, or whatever prominent people were in there. I think
this is what if you're going to peacock, you don't peacock on that. That's a small hill to go stand on.
Hey, well, it depends on what type of people you're following. That may be their jam. Maybe this guy was a problem previously that they didn't like because he was speaking disfavorably.
What? So just like the domestic assault, the charges and everything else of like my baby mama did this. Why are we here today? Why are we here today, sir?
Yeah.
What criminal complaint do I have today? I can't do much about this that happened 4 weeks ago because you didn't call me 4 weeks ago. Why am I here today, though? Oh, you asked about time. Did he go over 3 minutes? That's why we're here today.
Yeah.
Even if we have the priors, it's the great thing that we have in this country. It allows you, even with prior convictions, there's some stuff that prohibits you from like participating in, but a lot of it you're still able to do because you're an American citizen. Even as a convicted felon, you're still an American citizen.
Yeah.
You can go to these meetings because those meetings, even as a convicted felon, affect you too. So even if you might not have voting power, you can still use your vocal power as a citizen of where you're at to voice. That is a legally protected right. It's literally the first one. That's why they put it there. That's the most important, is
Yep.
you are able to voice your opinions.
And we can back it up with them SWAT hands, baby. We can back up that First Amendment with a second.
That's why that came right afterwards.
Right.
Because if you don't let me tell you whatever I want to tell you, I have the right to defend that.
Yep.
Now don't clip that and take that to way.
Wade,
Look at these two morons.
I ain't drinking lean, Wade.
We're literally on the other side of the coin. We're with everybody else on this one.
We are with everybody else on this one. Hey, it happens. I think that's one of the things that's cool about our show is I think we call it fair. As fair as it is to us. I think
balls and strikes, because at the end of the day, no one's going to be perfect. That is the goal. Yes. But guess what? We're all people. We screw up. We roll stop signs. Everybody does. I rolled stop signs. Have I given people tickets for rolling stop signs? Absolutely. Have I given people breaks for rolling stop signs? Absolutely. But you have to take the totality of the situation of what you're looking at and then make an educated decision based off of that. Are you going to get it right all the time? No. But I think this is an easy one that you're going to see at academies very soon coming up.
Yeah.
This is one, because it has a lot of, I want to say teachable moments, but it has a lot of teachable moments. You're behind the door. What happened on the other side? Where does qualified immunity start protecting you?
Yeah.
And now you're aware of things and you're starting to get involved in this, and everybody else is asking the same question. Do you have the answer to that question? Because if you don't have the answer to that question, then qualified immunity might not protect you. There's a lot of teachable moments in this one. I believe that this one will be showing up very, very soon.
I think so. I would like I said, I'd like to know what Anthony's full thought is on this. I'd like to get to discuss it because I absolutely, I can't. And I told him, I can't. Help me see it from, because he used to be a prosecutor. Like, help me see this from a prosecutor's eyes. How would you view this? Because I can't.
If he's the loudest person in the room, maybe, but at that point, someone has to stop the proceedings and get order of things, and then you figure out, okay,
yeah,
if this happens again, we're going to start ejecting people from the room.
Yeah,
you don't straight go to, hey, is this over 3 minutes? Put them in the back of the cop car.
I know, it's crazy,
and that's what happened.
I know.
That's
I'm so angry that I'm dumbfounded. I am dumbfounded on this one. I don't fucking understand it. I don't get it. Other than flexing, I understand Chief was flexing his ass off. He was like, no, my watch in front of the mayor or whatever. I'm speculating, but there's just no fucking idea.
I don't want my name on that report.
And it sounds like everybody else in the chat is like, I haven't heard a single person. And you guys, I know our chat has no problem disagreeing with each other. So it sounds like we're all on the same page with this one, which
I would say you're kind of okay, then you're definitely not okay. Then you're kind of like, there's a bunch of those, it kind of goes, but when you get to you're kind of not okay, you gotta in the moment, stop and go, okay, what do we have here? Do we have anything? Do we have anything to proceed? What do we have? Even let's say that his talking out was disruptive, and in pulling him out of there, he was kind of resisting or whatever. And then so they use that, and they're like, while they're out there, because he is a yoked guy, that as soon as he starts to try to turn around, that the rest of his body is going to react to that. So they reacted to that, and they start to put him in handcuffs. Once you get them in handcuffs, you have to look at each other and go, what do we have? And if you have nothing, it's not that you're still not potentially going to face a lot. Like at some point, the people that are going to be facing the lawsuit are who initiated, who started this thing, where then that someone has to be responsible for it. And the person that initiated the proceedings, that's who ultimately becomes responsible for it. So the people on city council, when they start paying out a lawsuit for whatever city in Texas, when you see this, this is the direct responsibility. Once this starts happening and this guy starts acting upon this, then everything that happens after that is a liability of his actions. So he is a future liability to stay employed by the city.
Yeah, I agree. Mr. Billfold sent this one in our Discord channel. Make sure you guys check this out on our Discord channel. Before we get to that, Brandar's dropping 5. Brandar got away from his Japanese currency or whatever it was that he had before. He dropped $5 in the chat. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate that. He goes, he said, my Michigan thing came out right there. I said, he goes. That's one of the things we say up there. He goes. He said,
I crapped on Michigan a little bit ago, so I feel you brought up Michigan, so I was like, haha, Michigan.
Watch your mouth, mister. But he said for $5 in the super chat, thank you. Isn't the city attorney in these meetings too? Why are they silent during this? That's what we're saying, Brandar. I don't get how anybody in this room could have stayed silent. They may not known what was going on. They may have just went ostrich and put their head in the ground. And just didn't pay attention, because unless you went out into that hallway, you might not have known
the rest of what happened.
Yeah, the rest of what happened. Yeah, so that's a possibility. I'm not making excuses for them by any means, but
because once they got him in handcuffs, it didn't look like the chief stay around for much longer.
Right.
So he went back in there to hear about whatever planning they were chit chatting about that was so important that needed more than 3 minutes.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right, let's, this is about 11-minute video, and we're only an hour into our chat. Normally we go about 2. So I'm just going to play this whole video. I have seen this one. Me and Mr. Billfold have actually, I think, discussed this one before. But this is his baby, and I know he really likes to talk about this one. And I'm here for, I'm gonna call Mr. Billfold a fan. I'm here for the fans. Mr. Billfold's a part of the community. So,
family.
Yeah. Let's play this one, and we're gonna watch it through its entirety. I'm not gonna stop it, so we're gonna watch this.
I think the ruling that he discussed and the loss of qualified immunity by the police, by the sheriff's department, I think that sends a pretty stark message to law enforcement across this county, and I think it should send a pretty stark message to you guys, that the days of feelings enforcement from the dais is probably over.
Love you, baby. You're beautiful.
A couple of years, things may change when all the kids grow up and start wearing ties and go.
I dig the editing.
I know, I like it.
Flag countdown with music. The beats are in the music.
Right?
Any member of the police department who has allowed himself to get out of condition will either get back into condition or be weeded out.
There's more people in the video, but I
Board
can't.
of County Commissioners 5:30 business meeting. There are paper copies of our agenda available for those here in person, and the full packet for our meeting is available on our website. Okay. We'll go on to general public comment.
Social contract refers to the consent of the governed. When this body, who's supposed to represent the people, actually exists to thwart the people and waste their money and enrich themselves, they are not true representatives, they are illegitimate. Waste, abuse, and corruption. How long are the people in this county going to put up with it? And how long are commissioners going to allow it? Thank you.
Get him, girl.
Lawrence, regarding your reserves, you've created a continuous pattern.
John, we're going to be talking about our reserves during our meeting.
Yes.
Could you provide your public comment then, if it's on that specific item, or is this general?
It's broader than just the reserve.
Okay, go ahead then.
Regarding your reserves, you've created a continuous pattern of inflating the budget, raising property taxes, and stockpiling the excess cash when actual spending is lower than the budget. You've created a very large slush fund. You might consider returning it to the taxpayers. The people of this county have a right to see how this government has spent their hard-earned wages. You must make public the complete details of every program, contract, grant, or other obligation of county funds spent from this slush fund. For too long, county property owners have subsidized ideological projects that they did not vote for. The Douglas County electorate has seen their tax dollars used to fund free housing and social services to people who are not county citizens and actually not U.S. citizens at all. Guaranteed income programs are not supported by our Kansas state legislators. HB 2101 prohibits municipalities from adopting and implementing guaranteed income programs. These passion projects do not advance the interests of Douglas.
Okay, so I will pause this real quick just to read what the caption says. It says, Shannon Reed is the only one not showing the common respect of actually listening to the public.
Douglas County citizens. Worse, these passion projects do not verify participant U.S. citizenship. You need to be transparent and accountable with all your initiatives. Douglas County has been identified as a sanctuary jurisdiction that is violating federal law. Stephen Miller, American First legal founder and deputy chief of staff for policy, has written to all of you stating that such lawlessness subjects the Douglas County commissioners and your subordinates to significant risk of criminal and civil liability. Federal law is clear. Aliens unlawfully present in the United States are subject to removal from the country. It is a crime to conceal, harbor, or shield them. See Section 8 U.S. Code 1324. You are in violation of the Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution. The Indiana AG and the Iowa AG have filed lawsuits against sanctuary counties and sheriff departments in each of their respective states. The Kansas AG is starting to follow. The United States AG has started with New York and Illinois, including Chicago. A Pam Bondi meeting is not far off. Perhaps there's someone on your staff that wants to protect herself using the Kansas Municipal Whistleblower Act, which is 8B 2160, or the Federal Whistleblower Protection Program.
Any other public comment or general public comment?
My name is Dr. Justin Spees. Back in April of 2022, I was unlawfully arrested in this meeting room here for a sign. Then I was removed unlawfully from a meeting the following month. And then last spring, I was muted multiple times from a meeting and was once again unlawfully arrested on May 1st. I filed a lawsuit on all of that, and a ruling has come down today from the dismissal stage of it. And concerning Sheriff Armbrister and his unlawful arrest on me on April 20th, the court writes, based on those allegations, which the court must accept as true for this motion to dismiss, a prudent person would not believe that plaintiff Spees had committed, even arguably committed, disorderly conduct, and thus Armbrister.
Did his computer quit?
And Crutzel violated clearly established for sitting silently and conversing with.
Okay, we're
even if a foul-mouthed conversation.
What's wrong?
I'm back. I'm back. It sounded like your computer quit for a second because I didn't hear it. Just everything froze. So I was looking at all my all of my stuff froze. I didn't get any audio, but I was having audio issues earlier. But it everything completely froze. And then I was like, I remember you said you were on Wi-Fi in a hotel room. So it's like maybe his stuff quit.
Oh, yeah. I do know that my computer stopped charging for some reason, so that's why I got up for a second. But
I was say maybe when you put it switched over from battery to full Monty charge, give you all the juice for Wi-Fi now.
Hold on. Let me adjust that real quick. Keep them busy. Tell them about all the stuff you got going on.
So all the stuff I'm doing, in a couple months, I'm going over to the Harrisburg Fire Show. I don't know that I'm going to make FDIC, but we'll have a booth at Harrisburg. And then in August, going down to Orlando for Police Fleet Expo. And I think we're going to be down there for the entire week for this because they're going to have last year it was Road Atlanta. because it was in Birmingham was where they had the thing, and then they had the racetrack is where they took us to. So this year it's in August and it's in Orlando, and they're going to do the racetrack stuff at Daytona, and then that's the first day. You might actually want to go to that Police Fleet Expo. It's kind of fun. The first day is a ride and drive day. So they bring in Ford, Stellantis, GM, Harley, and then all of the other new things, the cool little electric quads and the cool different Segways and the one wheels and drones. And like the first day is like the ride and drive day. So they get to play with all of that stuff. And then you get to go do EVOC in their cars and this, because it's in Orlando, the closest track is Daytona. So you're going to get to go do this at Daytona. So then the second day, I think the second day is loads. They start bringing a show load in. The third day show load in. And then the fourth day is when they do classes. So that's how I got down there last year, is we gave a class on how 3D printing and what 3D printing is doing for the emergency lighting industry, the whole as a whole, and what we've been doing and what we can offer. And they loved it. So they asked us to come back down again this year. So I'm not sure where we'll be at, because they talked about moving us to the big hall, because where we were at became, I guess we did really good. They really like 3D printing, or it's just enough of one of those itches that you needed someone that has been doing it to like, oh, I've seen this thing. This people know what they're doing and they're actually willing to talk about it. I'm very interested, kind of like, because there was quite a few of that too. But the room was at standing room capacity only. And then we had people standing out in the hallway trying to listen in. And then when we got done, we had to leave. We were physically removed from the building or from the room because they needed to do the next class, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But Peter, the guy that puts it all on, the director for the thing, he liked it. So I don't know what we'll be doing this year, but because it's in August, it's way far out.
Okay.
Because they moved it. It was supposed to be in Pennsylvania. And then I don't know why they moved it. I don't know if they couldn't figure out a location for the ride and drive, but every year that one rotates. FDIC is in Indianapolis every year. The Harrisburg Fire Show is in Harrisburg. And then some of the other shows rotate, and some of the other shows are very like specific to the like states and things like that. So I'll have that going on. And then we've got some things that we've been working on behind the scenes that's pretty close. We just got to do all the stress testing. Well, the stuff with you and all of everybody else and the video game thing that we're working on. I don't know how much or how open we want to, how much details on that, but that's,
we've talked a little bit about it.
The amount of things that could follow on potentially, or the potential growth of that idea is pretty cool. So this year it's pretty fun. And then I had my surgery last year. So by the time my brain starts to finally get through the reset, I'm able to like start to enjoy the summer and stuff like that. So looking forward to being old.
With a lot less pain. I love it.
Yeah, a lot less pain.
Let's go back to this video, guys. I got everything.
So regarding the May 1st arrest, so as pled, Channel and Coleman violated clearly established law by arresting plaintiff Spees without probable cause for silently standing in the meeting room without blocking or hindering the meeting. The officer defendants are not entitled to qualified immunity on Claim 9. In particular, Armbruster and Crutzel are not entitled to qualified immunity for the April 20th, 22 arrest, and Channel and Coleman are not entitled to qualified immunity for the May 1st, 2024 arrest. The court denies the motion to dismiss those claims. Plaintiff has adequately pled causation for the malicious prosecution claim against Deputy Crutzel based on the April 2022 arrest. Plaintiff has also properly alleged the other elements of the claim against Defendant Crutzel for the arrest. Concerning the commission here, the plaintiff has therefore alleged that the public comment policies burden substantially more speech than is necessary to promote orderly and efficient meetings. Thus, plaintiff has stated a plausible claim that the public comment policies do not survive narrow tailoring for content-neutral restrictions. The county and county commission defendants motion to dismiss plaintiff's facial and has applied challenges to the public comment policies based on content and viewpoint discrimination is denied. The court finds that removal by officers from the meeting would chill a person of ordinary firmness, and he has plausibly alleged the second element.
Oops.
Finally, plaintiff has plausibly alleged that muting and removing him was substantially motivated by his protected activity, which was speech. The claim is filled with allegations that plaintiff was muted or removed because of his signs and other comments during the meeting. Therefore, to the extent that plaintiff alleges retaliation by removing him from the meetings, he has stated a claim for relief. The court denies the commission defendant's motion to dismiss the retaliation claim against defendant county to the extent that it is based on the plaintiff being muted or removed from the meetings, but the court grants to the extent that it is based on the arrests. So maybe you losers, reporters there could maybe report on that. That's kind of a big deal. And you deputies there, that's your leadership. That's your leadership. Armbruster sent Channel and Coleman to unlawfully arrest me because he didn't have the balls to do it himself.
A lot of similarities.
I see that.
The striking similarities of some of the same exact legal points that we just pointed out.
Yep.
Again, I don't have a legal degree. I just watched a lot of
the way
internet.
that they've treated people in the media. I think the ruling that he discussed and the loss of qualified immunity by the police, by the sheriff's department, I think that sends a pretty stark message to law enforcement across this county. And I think it should send a pretty stark message to you guys that the days of feelings enforcement from the dais is probably over.
Woo!
I think in the last few meetings in the county, we've shown, nay, proven the constitutional right to speak. I hadn't planned on coming to this meeting tonight because we've proven that. Part of the battle that I came in here to fight with you guys was because you kept shutting him down illegally. That was before you two, but those three know damn well what I'm talking about.
Oh.
But that was why I was here. And I announced that to you guys in emails, just like I did to the school board. I told you why I would come in here and why I would challenge your policies that were unconstitutional.
Thank you, sir.
You chose to attempt to criminalize me as well, Karen Willie. You're lucky that day the channel didn't arrest me as well, even though you told her to.
Get him.
But that's the reason I was here from the beginning. There was a night at the city commission meeting, and I know it's real easy to, you know, it's hard being Justin's friend because everybody's going to hate me, right? And that's not untrue, because there's a lot of people that try to judge me just because I stand up for him. But there was a commission meeting one night where they were illegally arresting him. And as he walked by me, as they were putting him in handcuffs, he looked at me and he said, "Come on, Mr. First Amendment, where are you at?" And that really made me think, and if that was a chuckle over here, you got to be kidding me. But that really made me think about how we silence the other side. We don't always agree on politics and our political views, but he has the right to say them. And he has the right to speak up here and use words that you don't like. So the days of silencing people from the dais and feelings enforcement from the dais, I think are over. I think we can get a commitment out of the sheriff's department for that, because I think they're done taking the hits for you guys, because that's really what's happening with these qualified immunity decisions is the sheriff department, those individuals, Armbruster, Channel, Crutzel, Coleman, you guys did that to them. Those four are going to be individually held liable for their actions. And you three did that to them. They should hold you personally responsible for what you put those officers into. Have a good night.
I like it. Shout out to this guy's page here.
That's how you do it. You both of them are very calm.
Yeah, just
there was no yelling. There was, hey,
this facts. Just straight facts. Like
that's walking in knowing that you're going to win the war.
And the beauty thing that some people may not understand out there, I know everybody in our audience understands this, but you as a government official are under that same umbrella of qualified immunity. And if those cops lose it, guess who's next? Guess who's next? You motherfuckers. So I love that I love that he's pointing. The days are done, because guess what? If the cops lost it, you're next. You are next.
Because
and
because it comes down to when it goes to the court of like who's responsible, who initiated the actions. And if it's those people, that's where the buck stops. And then everybody after that in your positions, you have to be able to answer very simple questions. Do you have probable cause to make an arrest? Reasonable articulated suspicion.
Yeah, RAS.
Do you have it? If you don't, let it go. There's another day.
Yeah.
There's another day. Not only that, if they're saying things that you don't like, grow up.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Billfold just got to what I was about to say. I was going to say, quit listening to people that you think have authority over you. And he was saying, cops, lesson, do not blindly follow orders. Tools are consumable items. Yes, 100%. Just like with the whole COVID thing. Now, I work for a great department. I had no problems. There was nobody trying to make us do unlawful things. Nobody trying to make us mask enforcement shit. None of that. Can we ask people, hey, I'm trying to keep things limited. Could you try to like not go here and there because we don't know what the hell's going on. This thing's, we don't know if it's killing people or what. That's the best you can do. And that's what we tried. Hey, if they didn't want to tell you to go F off, like there's nothing you can do about it. All right, cool. Now there was
a reason
trying to shut down businesses and whatnot, but
there's a reason why we have a way of a system of doing things. Regardless, right or wrong, there is a system. It's imperfect, but there is a system. Because if we didn't have stop signs, then people would be running them and people would get hurt. And then we go, oh, why are we doing anything about all these traffic deaths? We could put these stops. So at some point, there's some order. There has to be. And we're all, everybody that lives here in the country understands that if you're going to live here, there's this, everybody's accepted. This is the law. Because this is the law. Everybody voted to put those people in office. Those people in office represent us. Those people that represent us create this law. This is the law that the police now have to enforce. So if there's no law, then there's no enforcement.
Yeah.
If there's no, like, unless the emergency order or any of that stuff has any of that, because I don't have a COVID example, but back in the day, I worked in Hawaii and on a military base, and one of the military bases that I worked on had 3 sides of the peninsula were beach. One side that was that they didn't have a whole lot of waves, but that was the backside of a artillery firing range. So that's why that one was off limits. All the other ones, the areas that you could get to, there was no, if you had access to be on the base, you had access to be.
Y'all were firing artillery in Hawaii. What's wrong with y'all?
Not necessarily artillery. It was the back of, so on the beginning of the range had the FBI pistol course. And then we had the rifle, we had not that small arms rifle course, but like the 300, because it's a Marine Corps base.
Yeah.
So they had up to 300. And then they had some sniper positions, so they could do some sniper stuff. So it wasn't artillery, but the backdrop on the back side of what they were firing into was the ocean. And it pointed out literally into the ocean. So it didn't it didn't point out
ruin beautiful places.
It's the government, man.
The government.
It's the man. But anyway, there was an area that the beach was in family housing. So the only reason that you have ability to get the park in these certain areas was you had to live in the area. Now there was some spots for non-family housing to be able to visit the beach, but there's like 8 spots and there'd be 50 cars there every day. Now, if you have access to be in housing areas, that's it. There's no restricted housing areas. There is just, you could go to there. So long story short, what happened is the people there that lived in the area wanted to complain. And so the knee-jerk reaction was, we're just going to check IDs and pull everybody out of the water. And if you're not allowed to park there, then we're kicking you out. And I was like, what's the base order that changed? Did the base commander change a base order? Did the Department of Defense change an order? Did something get changed in the UCM? What has changed? And they're like, well, I'm like, who's we and what changed?
Yeah.
You have to see the memo and who's saying the thing that we're changing, because I'm not going to go out there and just pull people out of the water and restrict their access or restrict their ability to move freely unless I have a legal authority to do so. And unless your authority is, we've got a lot of this stuff out there, so this is the new order. Okay, so this is the new order that we're operating off of. So everybody gets notified about it. We're going to put signs up. There's a problem there, when we start doing things, when a new law comes into effect, there's soft enforcement where you're not really going to enforce it. And then you're going to stop people, but you're not really still going to enforce it. It takes a long period of time before you really start like cracking down on stuff. But because the swells came in on one time of the year that this is when they wanted to. So I was one of the people that said, I'm like, no, I'm not going out there. So then they tried to change my work schedule. And I'm like, guess what? Not only can you not mess with them, you can't mess with me. And I'm not a Marine. I was a civilian employee. So I had a union that I fell under. So, and you change my working conditions, we have to negotiate. So if I'm on patrol and you try to pull me from patrol and go stay in a gate or go patrol a different area, because we had the Marine Corps, we had 3 different areas that we were responsible for. So every day we would go out to 3 different areas. We had 3 shifts and like 2 substations, basically. One was Camp Smith. That was basically the Pentagon of the Pacific. Could run the entire world from that building. It's crazy. Those rooms that you see, the war rooms with all the computers. I know other people, you know what I'm talking about, but other people might know. You see those in movies where they got those computers and there's like all these rows and they've got the big screens up. Those actually really exist.
Yeah.
And even at the clearance levels that we had back then, to get there, we had to get into a building. To get into the building, we had to get escorted. To get into the hallway, we had to have a different escort. To get down to this area, we had to have a different escort. Then to get into the room, we had to leave our communication devices, including our radios and our cell phones. Everything had to stay out of the room because it's a secured, like, even then it's a crazy thing. But all that to say that you have to have something to stand on. If you don't, you have no leg to stand on. So your qualified immunity goes away. Just like this. If you don't have, standing there is a protected act. Do you not like it? Okay. Your feelings aren't protected.
And they said that a lot in this fucking video.
The ability to stand up there and visually object while not obstructing any, like he all those things that we were just saying. He's not stopping the proceedings. We haven't done all these, like, all of the things that we literally just said are covered in that video. So homeboy that got arrested, find that video and give that to your lawyer, because that's already been adjudicated and it's a different state, but it's already been adjudicated. So they can look at that and go, hey, there's similar proceedings in another state. And if this wants to go to appeal to the Supreme Court, then it becomes a big thing, because then everybody then it becomes case law. But you have to have a leg to stand on, and not like, and here's where that you start to break down the myth of like cops are just out there to get everybody. We're not. Like, we don't want to do paperwork any more than anybody else. But if we see like, if I could help someone change a flat tire or put my car in the road while we're finishing changing a tire to help like, I'd like doing that stuff. I like being at the gas station, have kids come up. Hey, can I play with your car? Yeah, get in there, turn the lights on, hit the siren, those are core like I love doing that way more than I enjoyed putting handcuffs on people. But putting handcuffs on people was part of the job, and putting handcuffs on people meant those other things that I really enjoy doing. Those are protecting those from those idiots that are doing the things that they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
The myth that, they're out there to get you, they're not. So at some point during, like, when I was an FTO, I teach my guy, like, if you don't have, it's like, you can get to a point and still be in trouble for it, but you're not nearly as much trouble as you are if you physically move him from the room. That's one part. Put him in handcuffs. That's another part. Walking him, detaining him, bringing him down the hallway, put him in another car. That's another part. Bringing it physically, removing him from the building. That's another part. Processing him in jail, actually charging him. That's like, all of that becomes factors that add commas and zeros onto the settlement that ultimately the taxpayers of that city that elected those people there have to pay.
Yeah.
So someone has to be responsible for it. Either the chief is responsible for it, and the chief responsible for it by, you're no longer the chief. usually by that point in people's career, you've got enough time that they can just retire and be done with it anyway. But that's what no one wants to go out. If you've spent that much time in a career field, especially in a career field like law enforcement, you don't want to go out by like, hey, I ejected some yoke dude from a meeting because he asked about time being over. And I had to I was forced to retire as part of the settlement.
Yeah. But that kind of goes against your argument about it's a myth that cops are out to get you.
Hang on, my headphone.
Can you hear me? You good?
It says it's back.
Are you good? Can you hear me?
Nope, I don't have you.
No.
How much time where are we at on time?
We're good. We're good.
So if you want to wrap up then, and I apologize that I don't hear anything, but thank you guys for being here and listening to us. This is one of the ones that we could turn around and go, all the times you guys are cop-splaining and all that stuff. No, we're on your side on this one. This is bad. This is bad from you don't have a reason to start from. You don't have anything to get him out of the room. You don't have a reason to put him in handcuffs. You don't have a reason to put him in the car, because every one of those, like, hey, you lost your qualified immunity for doing this, as was literally read out in that judgment. That's what's going to happen. You lost your qualified immunity, not when you put him in handcuffs, but when you put him in the car, because at that point you have the legal authority or legal responsibilities to start notifying people because you're detaining them. You're physically removing them. You, at a minimum, even if you're not going to question them, you don't want them random. At a minimum, you have to notify them of what they're being charged for. So,
yeah,
this one's cut and dry. This guy's going to enjoy his check. I love you guys. Shake it more than twice. You're playing with it.
Later, brother. All right.
I don't want to end stream because that'll end stream.
No, don't end.
You want to pull? You just bump me out.
Yeah, I'll get you out of here,
and then I'll know that I'm gone, and I can close the.
There we go. Okay, you got me. It's just me. So I will. I want to jump on Brandar's comment because he was so kind to drop another $5 in the super chat, and I didn't want to stop dead like he was on a roll. So let me go back to Brandar. He said cops get qualified immunity because they are not expected to know the laws, but citizens are not allowed ignorance, which is a fair argument. Aren't city council civilians too? No. City council is a part of elected government, at least as far as I know. Where I'm at, they're elected. So, yeah, they're a part of the elected government, which puts them in the realm for qualified immunity. I am not a lawyer, though, but that's my understanding of it. I'm going back to the comments because I heard or I read some good stuff. But yeah, to what Deadleg was saying about how it's a myth that cops are out to get you, I'm going to kind of push back a little bit on that and say that we've seen examples where that is exactly what it looked like. Now, can I prove that? No, I can't get in the mind of somebody, but your actions look like that's exactly what you were trying to do. You were out to get some people for some bullshit. That's not speaking badly of cops in general or any of that, but I don't think we can sit out here and say 100% that cops aren't out to get people, because that's been proven wrong. There's cops that have done some shady shit. We've had people on the podcast that have been wrongly convicted of homicide because a detective intentionally fudged the case. So, and it was proven. They were let out of prison because of it. We had Derek Hamilton on here. We've had some other people on here that all had that. So, why is it so hard for officers to press the Windows key plus M? Minimize everything on the screen so PII and SI are not available to be recorded on those screens. I don't even know what you're saying, sir. I don't even know what that means. Brando's gonna have to teach me some shit. I'm all about learning some stuff. If they take an oath, they are government. There you go. See, Wade knows. Their QI, Mr. Billfold said their QI doesn't hinge on their knowledge of the law. It depends on existing case law showing a right violation. I agree. So overall, basically looking at those two videos that we saw, I am 100% not a fan of stepping on somebody's right to free speech. If we're so into this de-escalation shit that everybody wants to push down the cops' throats, which we used to call verbal judo, if that is truly the case, then why the fuck are we at the drop of a hat so willing to arrest somebody because they disrupted, air quotes, a town hall meeting? Are you serious? It seems like you're really into de-escalation when it's involving hood rats and all this other shit where we're dealing with some actual real criminals. But you could give a shit less about any de-escalation when it comes to our prominent people in our cities. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Because as it was stated in our comments, you didn't hear anybody speak up on that. Not a single person gave a shit because guess what? It benefited them and their votes. Personally identifiable information and sensitive. Okay, Brandon, I got what you're saying now. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Brandar's too smart for me, so I have to have him break it down into dummy stuff for me. I appreciate you, brother. Not to pick nits, Brandar. Just saying those things do not correlate. That was from Mr. Beffold, not me. Because it's progressive to be feelings enforcement. Law enforcement is too conservative. I think that's part of the big rub, Brandar, is that I don't know that cops are too conservative. I think it's that we have the feelings enforcement that have a final say, or they get to guide where they want their police to go, and it causes a rub. I think it's part of the problem. Mr. Belfold said, Eric, the answer to that is culture. Cops handle actual criminals better than they handle an informed citizenry. Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Fuck that. I'm going to put that one up, Mr. Belfold. There could not be better things said tonight. That was probably one of my favorite comments of the year so far. I think you're 100% right there. I'm going to read it again. Cops handle actual criminals better than they handle an informed citizenry. Yeah, you goddamn right. I work those super secret squirrel spaces. Yes, he does. Yeah, it is incredible how well it, to me, most of the time, I'll be honest, and like when you got a true violent criminal, I really don't see a whole lot of problems with the way cops act. But when you get people that are in that gray area, and not necessarily even the gray area, but just somebody that's not a violent criminal and is doing what I would consider not anything, something that I want small government on. I'm a big small government fan. I think less law is better. I think the less you have me involved in as a cop, thank you. I want less that I have to act on. I want as little as possible. I mean, honestly, I'd prefer to just deal with violent crimes and property crimes only. That's me personally. That if you make me king for the day, that's what I would make law enforcement involved in, and then create some other division that wants to handle the revenue for the states and all that shit. That's just me. You want traffic safety? Well, guess what? Now your TxDOT or your ADOT or whatever state you live in, your roadway system, that's what they're responsible for. They're responsible for speeders and all of that stuff. If they want to put cameras all over the city streets and do all that, well, guess what? The roads are theirs. They're not mine as a cop. That's not my job. That would be awesome. Ario said, I also agree with less government. See? Brandar said, do you think officers are trained that they are more knowledgeable citizens and are to trust their own training over the word of a citizen? Not necessarily. I don't think they're trained that way. I think just like anybody, you learn a topic and you're like, okay, I got my understanding of this. This is how I was trained. Now this citizen is trying to claim opposite of what I was trained. And that's where the rub happens. I don't think it's that they think they're smarter or they think they're right. It's just this is their training, that's how they know it. And then they're like, oh, this person's pushing back. And rather than stepping back, and this is where humbleness comes in. And I had this conversation earlier with I don't remember, it was either Lacey or I'm sorry, guys. I had this conversation with somebody on YouTube earlier about humbleness versus I don't want to call it arrogance, but just having humbleness to step back when somebody challenges what you're telling them. So for me, and this is how I operate, and it doesn't mean this is how all cops are, and I understand that, but for me, somebody challenges something I said, and I hate when people want to argue in the street, but I'll entertain it for a moment, depending on what it is. And if they throw something at me where I'm like, okay, that's reasonable. It sounds logical. It doesn't mean it's right, but I'm like, if it sounds reasonable and it sounds logical to me, I'm going to investigate it. Okay, hold on. What you're saying makes sense. Let me check it out. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. But that's where the humbleness comes in. I don't let my ego take over to think that my training is always 100% right, because it's not. And every situation is slightly different. So the training can never cover everything that we deal with. I could deal with 10 robberies in a row. Every robbery is going to be different. I could deal with 10 domestics in a row. Every domestic's going to be different. So to me, it's not about thinking you're right. It's just having the humbleness to understand that when somebody says something to you that has logic and reason behind it, to check it out more. Don't let your ego take over. And this goes into the ego class. Don't let your ego take over to think, oh, I was trained this way. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you're not a cop. If you start thinking like that, you're wrong. Wade said cops should stick to criminals and leave civil matters for code enforcement and social workers. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Like I said, the less you give me, the better. Makes my job easier. Mr. Billfold said, Eric, the gray area, and you and I spell gray different. I spell gray with an E. I don't know what the right way is. That's a weird thing to get stuck on, right? Isn't it about citizens being lawful or unlawful? It's about the expectation of respect, fear, that goes unmet when suspicious citizens doesn't bend the knee. Agreed. And that's where we go into that unmet expectations, because cops are so used to people doing exactly what they tell them to. And when they don't, the rub happens. That's when the ego has a potential of taking over. So I'm with you, Mr. Belfold. I agree. That's where I think humbleness can really benefit us as cops. Local police should have a text line where the people can text in complaints with pics of what they are reporting, and a cool new AI tool that could review for legal analysis. That's already exists. Stuff like that's already out. So I like where your brain's at, Brandar, but it's already in the works. So just know that your brain is tracking. The guy concealing drugs is either going to fight or flee. The citizen holding a sign is to stand their ground, which trigger that authority is king culture. Yeah, you're right. Get past all these calls for service problems of I need your ID mentality. Yeah, the ID crack problem is strong amongst my people. Hey, it's the culture. It is the culture. Now, and I've told you guys, this is where I'll butt against you, and I'm telling you, I want as much information as I can when I'm handling a call. It's not to violate your rights. It's just to give me the most informed way to make decisions as I can. So I will ask for your ID, but I am the type that's going to inform you. Hey, if you could, sir, I would like to get your ID to have your information for my report so I can do everything that I'm going to do to investigate this to the fullest. However, your ID. So if you don't want to, you don't have to. It's like doing it that way. But to some of your guys' arguments, I understand, and this is where I just disagree with you. That like you shouldn't be asking. Period. If you don't have a crime, you don't have this, you don't have that, you shouldn't be asking. Sorry, I'm gonna ask. Ariel dropped $2 just to say, I need your goddamn ID. I hope I read it. I hope I gave you justice on how you were trying to say that in your head. Thank you, brother. I love it. Oh, shit. I like doing the Chappelle shows. Y'all got any more of that ID? Start scratching your neck. I need some ID, Joe Rogan. You can hear my voice is giving out, by the way. I haven't. You guys don't know this about me, but I am a songbird. So when I'm in the car, I American Idol my ass off. When I'm in the shower, I American Idol my ass off. I got a whole playlist of songs I love to sing. I like to do karaoke. I have not been able to sing anything for like 2 weeks. It's driving me crazy. Oh, shit. Steel Derek. I have not seen that name on here before. So we're going to read what he said. He said, medical civil rights bill, which I have no idea about medical civil rights. So we'll see where this goes. Look it up. Brings EMS into police interactions with mental illness calls. Okay. Interesting. Free in the house. Free said, who doesn't love crack? I mean ID. Welcome, Free. I love when he shows up. Free's my guy. This is great. We're getting all it. What's funny is we don't have a ton of people on tonight, guys, because I'm on an off day. It's a Friday night. Who the fuck wants to listen to this shit? I'm with you. It's the only day I got available right now. I promise. So I am happy for those that are in here tonight. Trust me, I am humbled by the fact that I have a lot of people that I have argued with over and over. Wade and I have gone at it. Free and I have gone at it. Twitch, maybe even you and I have gone at it. Mr. Billfold and I have definitely gone at it. Brandar and I have definitely gone at it. Everybody here tonight, I pretty much think we've gone at it about something. But y'all keep coming back, and it's just awesome. I think that's cool. I got a cool... Sorry. I got a cool message today. I don't remember what system it was on. Let me see if I can find it. I'll read it to y'all. Here it is, actually. Yeah. This guy's name is Spivey on Instagram. I don't know if he wanted me to say it or not, but it is what it is. He said, hey, Eric, I appreciate, and he even spelled my name right with a K. Thank you. He said, I appreciate the content you put out. I've been following for a bit, and I respect how you try to bridge the gap between officers and the public. I'm 25, and I just graduated with a bachelor's in criminal justice after finishing my college football career. I recently moved back to Illinois, DuPage area, and I'm trying to start a career in law enforcement. In 2023, I made the mistake and got into a situation that resulted in some charges. I completed a 12-month probation and took it as a learning experience. Since I've been focused on getting my life back on the right path, my current plan is to start corrections to get experience when I continue building myself and eventually pursue a police department once enough time has passed. I know you've been around the profession for a long time, so I just wanted to ask if that sounds like a solid path forward or if you recommend anything different. I'd appreciate your advice. You're willing to share. Oh, there we go. Thanks again. And thank you again for the work you are doing. So that's awesome. I love hearing that stuff. I love knowing that we're reaching people all over the place and helping make a difference. That's why I do what I do. That's why I'm a cop. That is the self-rewarding system, guys. I just like knowing I'm helping people. That's the selfish reason. I love knowing I'm helping people. So for anybody that asks. Anyway, my advice to this guy was not necessarily to jump into corrections. I actually advised him to jump into military policing. Obviously I'm biased towards the Air Force, but I didn't tell him that. I just told him, become a military cop. You can do corrections as a military cop. You can do all these different paths that he's kind of looking to do. When he gets out, he'll have an honorable discharge. He'll be able to have the GI Bill. He'll be able to have the VA loan where he doesn't have to actually put a down payment for a house and a whole bunch of other perks that come with being getting that honorable discharge. So that's what I recommended to him. If any of you guys see him on Instagram or anything like that, let him know. Yeah, that's some of the messages. I got some cool messages lately, and that one stuck out to me, and I just want to. It's always fun when people ask your advice. I hope that works for you guys. I'm looking at the comments. All right. You guys said a whole bunch of shit while I was reading that. I'm going back. Sorry. I know there's not a whole lot of you. I can't give ID. I have my own server at Fusion Center and it's full right now. Yeah, Freeman said, yeah, but the important people are here. Shotguns and tattoos. Some of us don't have lives. Mr. Billfold, asking would never be a problem if the results of politely declining did not trigger the use of force. Agreed. Or let cops think a person is suspicious for not wanting to identify. Agreed. Been bringing Von Clean videos, or been binging on Von Clean videos. He is a smart man. He is. It's very hard to get mad at him because when he explains the stuff, it all makes sense. Steel Derek said, my son had a mental break and was shot and killed by police. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. So sorry to hear that. Brandar said, what is up with officers that get to the scene late? Always saying, I just got here. Don't ask me. But blindly detain someone when they cannot articulate a reason for detention. Because if it's called good faith. If I get on scene and I don't know what the fuck's going on, I'm just an assist and somebody tells me, hey, grab that guy and detain him. It's not on me. So, of course, I'm going to go do that. Go detain him. Figure out what the hell's going on because it's no different than a battle scene or whatever you want to call it in the military, like the fog of war and things like that. I'm not saying that police work is war. That's not what I'm saying. But if I show up on a scene where there's an active robbery going on and they're like, detain that guy. I don't know if he's a robbery suspect. I don't know if he could be a witness. It could be a guy just walking by that matches the description. It doesn't matter. Detain everybody, figure out what the hell's going on. So that's just how that works. Is there a better way to do it? I don't know. That's what we have right now. Harrison's in the house. He said, what the heck are you doing? I know. What am I doing? I'm on the wrong day. I know. I'm sorry, Harrison. You're not wrong. Freeman, I disagree with him on some things, but if I don't listen to what he has to say, how can I argue against the logic when I disagree with him? Yeah, agreed. He said, Brandar said, after posting the last one, I sound kind of confusing. I'm sorry. Why have good faith for cops when you know they could be wrong, but not have good faith for civilians that could articulate the law better? I don't have a way to argue that. I don't have a way to argue that. I don't know how to argue that. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but at the same time, it's like, then in that case, why have cops? There's a reason you have police. There's somebody that has to be the mediator between civilians. So, Eric, I saw a couple. We got a call, so we need your ID videos. So yeah, that would be my argument is is that if the police weren't necessary, this wouldn't be a reason. This wouldn't be a problem. Good faith wouldn't need to be a thing, but it needs to be a thing for a reason because we can't go off of the rules or just the words of civilians simply because the civilians are the ones that need to be policed. Especially when you have serious things that go on. Now we could get into the whole, why do we have to police all these different things? We should have smaller government or we should have bigger government and we should have more laws or we should have less laws. So Steel Derek said, you have a tough job, a lot of good cops. The fact that your son was killed by a cop for a CIT mental call issue and you're still able to have that mentality is incredible. That's incredible. I would not hold it against you if you hated all cops. Not at all. But just being able to have that mindset is commendable. I'll put it that way. It's commendable. because I've seen a lot of videos where it is a mental health issue, but at the same time they present a deadly issue, a deadly threat. And although being crazy is not against the law, or having a mental breakdown is not against the law, mental breaks can cause you to do things that are against the law and cause people to protect themselves. So there's a video I posted about God, I can't think of that damn mayor's name. The mayor in New York, that's a big controversy, but I had a big problem with the video or what he had done. A cop was attacked by a person having a mental breakdown with a knife. He actually stabbed the cop, but the cop retreated when he was attacked, shut a door, put a door between him and the person before he ever tried to use force, trying to tell the guy, drop the knife, drop the knife. He's doing what he can. And he got trapped. He's in a room that he can't go anywhere other place from. And he ended up shooting the guy. He didn't kill him. Chaplain Campbell in the house. How are you, sir? Didn't kill him, but shot the guy. And the mayor didn't check on the cop that got stabbed. He went to the room and visited the kid that had the mental, I say kid, he was an adult, but had a mental breakdown, and got shot by the police, and then went and had a press conference about how police shouldn't, it's wrong. That's wrong. Like, you could have checked on both and I would have been okay. And I went and checked on the officer, made sure he was doing all right. He didn't want to do that. And then went and checked on the other guy that was having a mental breakdown. And let's have the real discussion. We don't know how to deal with that stuff. We don't know what to do yet, because you can't send an unarmed mental health crisis professional into a room with a person that's armed. It's not going to work out. I don't know. So, but to Derek, man, I really feel for you. I really do. With all sincerity, that sucks. And I don't have the words. I hope it was, at least it was justified on the police side that they did that. I hope they didn't just jump the gun, so to speak. And at the same time, I know it wasn't, if it's a mental health issue, it wasn't in the spirit of your kid, and it doesn't represent you or who he is or she. So that's I hope people hear that and understand that people that do have mental breaks, it's not them acting. Wade Lucero said it's not just wrong, it's disgusting. Shame on the mayor. I agree. I think and here's my reasoning. They have advisors at the New York City mayor level. They have advisors, guys. They have advisors. There's no advisor that was like, yeah, that's a good idea. They told them, like, these are things you need to consider. Now you can make an informed decision. Mr. Billfold's really trying to push this bow staff thing on cops. So, hey, Derek, if you ever want to, and you want to come on and tell the story to honor your kid, I'm down. We don't even have to make it a police thing. Just come on and tell the story. If there's a way that we can improve policing based on the story, maybe we'll discuss that. If it helps you on your healing, I'm down. It doesn't. If you just want to come on and just talk, like, I'm okay with that. I don't want to exploit. This is the other thing I'm trying to avoid, because I know how it sounds. I don't want to exploit your stories for clicks and likes. So, but you showing up in the chat, something spoke to you to speak out. So if that's something you're interested in, I'm willing. If that's not what you want to do, that's fine. Like, I don't want to pressure you. If that's something you do want to talk about, reach out to one of our mods with your email address. Maybe we can get you chatting in a private chat or on our Discord channel or something, and we can link up at my email, 2cops1donut@yahoo. But yeah, that's William Hampton. He said, speaking of training, what do you think of that guy, Dale Brown from Detroit, Michigan? Now, Michigan's my home state. I don't know what you're talking about with Dale Brown. So while I try to keep talking to you guys, I'm also going to Google who is Dale Brown from Detroit. Dale Brown from Detroit. I don't know what we're talking about. Commander Dale Brown, the urban survivor. Oh my God, I know who you're talking about now. He's not a cop. He's a fucking moron. That's who he is. Oh shit. I'm so okay. I'm gonna show a video on this numbnut. Oh my God, don't get me started on this guy. I am so glad you brought him up. Okay, I'm gonna share this video. This guy. I thought this guy was a cop. So I had gotten on I've seen videos about him in the past, like in passing, like little clips and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? This ain't real. Turns out, no, this guy's 100% real. So I'm going to biggie size this here. Okay, let me show you. Let me show you this dude. I don't even know what this video is. I don't know what this one in particular I'm showing. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt from here. If I think it's legit, I'll let you know it's legit. Okay, here we go.
Have your wrists. A lot of aggressors do this when you're talking to them because they don't want trouble. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your hands and clap just like that and pull down. So from here, you clap, and go like that. That'll get them.
Okay, what he's saying is actually that it does work. Depends on how strong the person is, but that can work. So I'm not gonna knock him for that part. But you guys will see there's a ton of other videos that he's an idiot in.
They'll let you go and you put your hands right back in front of your face again.
So we teach people how to create safety safely. Specifically, we teach people how to become their own bodyguards, how to make themselves safe. And we teach psychology, law, and skill in that order so they can have a legal format to protect themselves and their families and others, and also understand psychologically.
Okay. I actually, what he's saying here, it's not a lot wrong with that. I want to find, let me see here, Dale Brown on, what was the last one I saw? Something about having a loaded gun. There's one he said recently. I'm gonna see if I can find it here. There was one recently where this idiot said something about you should never have a round in the chamber. Let's see what this one says. Why is it not playing it? Oh, the sound's muted.
Combat. I'm not touching anything weapons related because I don't know anything about that. But to suggest that this is how you handle a group of attackers, or that this is a reasonable takedown, is absurd. I mean, how in the world is this a sweep? The guy doesn't seem to know how to grapple or strike, making him a delusional self-defense guru. Dale Brown from Detroit Urban Survival Training has a distorted idea of hand-to-hand combat. I'm not touching anything weapons related because I don't know anything about that.
So, okay. You guys kind of get the idea. You guys an idiot. Anyway, I don't recommend you follow anything about it. I mean, follow him for entertainment purposes. And like I told you guys, I'd be honest, like that thing that he was actually doing with the hands, that can work. That's and he wasn't wrong about the order of ways to instruct about legality and all of that stuff, psychological like that. It's reasonable. So I'll give him that. Wade said, I use click, click, pow for my protection. Do you wear your body cam in your town or city? Yes, absolutely. I've talked about it in depth on here. Like, I feel naked if I leave the sector without my body cam. Like, I will, like, you always do. It's just like leaving your house. You check your pockets. You're like, all right, I got my keys. I got my wallet. I got my watch. And, you know, I got my knife. For me, I got my gun. Like I have things that I carry every day, and I do the little self check real quick. Well, if I go out into patrol and I do my little self check, and all of a sudden I look down and realize I don't have my body cam, it's panic mode. Fucking about face, head right back to the sector. Don't take any calls. Don't do shit. Don't see anything. Blinders on. I got to get my camera. Feel naked without my body cam. And I know a lot of cops are like that, at least where I'm at. Harrison said, you should check out the last video from Civil Rights Lawyer. I would, but we're at 2 hours and I'm hungry. I don't want to keep going too crazy tonight. So yeah, William, that's my opinion of that dude is he's an idiot. Eric, that episode should be done as a members only. Yeah, we could do a members only. I'm not opposed to that. Mr. Billfold, yeah, this guy's a douche canoe. Yeah, he's a moron. So, how big a town you in? Over 1 million. We got 1.2 million people. We get over 1 million calls a year. I honestly think that we get over 1 million calls every 6 months, but I don't know that for a fact, so I don't want to say that. It's one of the top 10 agencies when it comes to size, covering about 355 square miles and a lot of people. I would tell you what it is, but I keep those separate from the podcast. So, Brandar still. Listen, guys, all the donations that you guys make to our YouTube channel help us out tremendously. And it really goes into the payments for everything each month as far as it's all software related. It's everything we edit with. It's our premium YouTube channel. Shit. Sorry, I still got the coughs. All goes back in the channel. It doesn't go in my pocket. I don't use it to go buy a steak or anything like that. So just know tonight Brandar's been paying for everything, and I appreciate you, Brandar. So thank you very much. And he's buying memberships. Look at this guy. Brandar must be drinking tonight. I don't know what his deal is, but let me read his question. He said, why is it that cops will drop their body cams so easily, but none of the other stuff on them fall off? That is not true. It depends on the mounting system. Depends, like mine, very, very hard to pull off because I have a locking mechanism, but not everybody has it. Most cops that I see, they get the standard issued magnet. So they have this magnet system that is given to them with their purchase. I bought my mount aftermarket. Mine's an aftermarket mount that I bought myself. And it literally goes in, like, let's say this is my phone. It goes in and then locks into place. And it is going nowhere because it's mollied to my gear. But I had to pay for that myself. Now, I did that because I don't want my camera to fall off. But a lot of these other cops are like, I'm not paying for stuff that the department's not going to give me. Like, and I don't blame them. Why should you have to pay for your own shit? The department should be doing for you. So if they just want to offer a magnet mount, that's what they got. And that shit can fall off the minute you start getting into a scrum. We used to have body cameras that would attach to your sunglasses or your glasses. And that would magnet here. I know it'd actually be about right here. And that could get knocked off easy. So it's just the way the system is. It's the way it's like when you buy these things, they don't just offer up the cool stuff, and the departments they're not getting it for their people. Some departments do, and they don't have that problem, but other departments don't. And so when you see them falling off, I think it was Phoenix recently, they had this whole cameras falling off gate. And if you look at what it's magnetized to, the moment an actual physical thing hits it, it can fall off. But if I'm going running, it's not going to fall off. Not typically. Just looking, somebody else. Harrison dropping 20 memberships. Look at you, brother. I really do appreciate it. And he joined late, y'all. He joined late. I appreciate you, Harrison. Thank you so much, bud. I'm just looking to see if our boy, you guys know the rule. If Marine's Blood didn't get a membership, you got to drink. I was hoping one of these nights. Derek said that they would follow up when they can. They're in the middle of a lawsuit. I understand that. So yeah, do your thing. Harrison, I'm just looking through all the people that got memberships. I don't see Marine Bloods. Salut, Marine Blood. Love it. Free rock Harrison. Everybody's loving Harrison. Chaplain Campbell said, I will be in San Antonio area for a couple days next week if you're around. Hey, I'm here. I'm here. I will be here till March 25th. So for those that don't know, I'm on my military orders. I'll be here till March 25th. Some news reporting stations are starting to question the reliability of body-worn camera mounts because they see a pattern of force causes cams falling off. Yeah, they should question it because there are some shitty-ass mounts that they give you. And like I said, like you got to... Like they're really strong magnets. So I understand why they think it will work. Look at my hair just fucking popping up like a peacock right there. They think it'll work, but it doesn't hold up, guys. It doesn't. Not at all. Harrison said, I was out getting pizza. God, pizza sounds so good. I'm trying to lose weight while I always do this. I try to lose weight while I'm on my military time. I went and ran 5 miles today. Nice and easy. I didn't kill myself. But Wade said, in Aikido, we separate the hands when they grab the wrists, called the big fish move. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I agree. That does work. I like to fold over the wrist. That's my favorite thing. So if somebody grabs my wrist, I'll try to go over. It's hard to do to yourself, but I'll try to go over the wrist. That's the way I always describe it, going over the wrist. And I will try to get the biggest, strongest guy to hold my wrist and easily break it. Break the grip, not them. Some people, experts, are thinking cops purposely mounting them to fall in cases of force. No, I don't think they are. Honestly, anybody that you get so used to a body cam, guys, I'm telling you, it's just you don't even think about it. You get on duty, you got your gun, you put your gun belt on, you put your vest on, you get your camera, grab it off the dock, put that on. You're grabbing your ball cap if you can wear those. You can just integrating your flashlight, double checking that. Like you go through the steps, and then when it's done, it's done. You're not going to a call and you're like, all right, let me make sure that I can mount this bitch so it falls off in case I got to go hands on. I don't see that happening. I'm not saying I'm right. Could be wrong. There could be some departments that are trying to do that. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But me as a guy that's done this for so long, I can't see that. Once I go through my body check and I'm like, all right, I got everything. Like there's things I do when I get out of the car. Like as soon as I get a call, like when I get the call and I hit accept, I'm like, all right, boop, boop, like click the camera and that fucker starts rolling. And when I get out of the car, I'm making sure, I touch the gun, touch my flashlight. I make sure everything's right there just as I'm starting to go. So yes, Derek, I am a sergeant. That is correct. Yeah, going through the motions. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it. You just go through the motions of what you do every day. No, I've never fired my gun at anybody. I have not. To Derek, she asked if sorry. Well, Derek could be a girl name too, right? I don't know. I don't want to assume your gender. Anyone else annoyed with the forearms or radio in the view so you can't really see anything and then it falls off? Yes. Okay. So you bring up a great point, Free. Here is one of the problems. Now, my body cam, where I have it mounted, hold on one second. I'm going to grab my vest real quick. I don't have my body cam with me. This is my little 2 cops 1 donut vest, so it's nothing fancy, but I used to have my body cam on there, so let me show you where I used to have it. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, here it is. Excuse me. Okay. So, okay. We're going to get demo time here. Okay. So I got to kind of stand up. So my camera originally, like, look at all the Molly spots. It would make sense to have it right here, right? It would make sense to have it in that spot. But think about it. If I punch out, I'm blocking it. That sucks. But for everything else, it's where you want it to be, because it sees the most. Because the lower I put it, if I were to put it down here, now that camera is looking at a weird angle and it's not seeing quite everything. So it's a game you got to play. Do I want to put it low and not quite see everything for the day-to-day stuff? Or do I want it or do I want it high so it can see most of the day-to-day stuff? If I keep it low, it's going to guarantee if I punch out that you can see more. But if I don't, so that's kind of the game you play. There's no room for it on your belt, and it's likely to fall off. It's not really a mounting system for the belt, because you got to have all your other stuff there. If you're a larger proportion person, maybe you can fit it on your belt, but it ain't gonna stay, because there's not really a mounting system for that. So Free, you bring up a good question that people don't necessarily have the perspective on, because I played that game of just trying to put it all over my vest, because I'm the same way. I'm like, oh shit, because I've been in situations where I'm pointing my gun at somebody and you can't see anything. And that made me panic when I reviewed the video, because I'm trying to go back and do the report. And I'm like, okay, this guy, he started reaching his waistband. So I pointed my gun at him, got him on the ground. We had no issues. And then I go back and watch the video and made sure everything I said matched with what I wrote. And I'm like, oh no, that's really bad. You can't see this guy reaching for his waistband because I'm already pointed out. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do now? Okay, and I'm going to have to start mounting my body cam lower. So that's part of the problem. I do know that the future body cams are going to start doing more of they're going to have like that Insta 360 ability. They're going to have the ability to see it through glasses, so you don't have to have this big ass protrusion coming out of the side of your head. There's going to be all sorts of things. They've got micro drones that they're working on, so you can just throw that up, and that's going to be another way to start monitoring things. Policing is getting better and better when it comes to technology. I'm really excited about that, but then the problem is going to be is how much is the public going to fight back? Because for me, I look at it as police accountability. But at the same time, I can see it as an overstepping Big Brother thing. It's a balance. I don't know how to play that, guys. Let me go back and make sure I didn't miss anything. You got me excited, Free, about the vest thing, because it's been a thing that I have fought with over and over and over again, because I'm like, oh, I don't know where to mount this motherfucker. Because you want the best view possible all the time. Okay, so fuck me. Let me see. Let me go back here. Harrison said the issue I have with the Kentucky State Police takes forever to release body cam footage. Years. Yeah, that's a bullshit. That shouldn't take that long. Freeman said, yeah, some of those things are obstructed off the rip. Yeah. Agreed. I like the hand motions. Some stations have shoulder mounted and glasses mounted. Yes, they do. Those screw up more than any of them. Honestly, I've had both. I've had the shoulder mounted, one that connects to your collar. They suck. They don't stay in place. They move all over the place. The most stable platform is on an outer vest carrier. That's my opinion. If we can start getting the Ray-Ban style, that may make a big difference. Something that could maybe self-tint, because you got officers that are going to work in the daytime and they're going to go into dark places and all that stuff. But there's ways to fix that. Free said maybe a hat cam or a helmet cam. Yeah, well, you're not going to wear a helmet everywhere. I mean, Mr. Billfold does, but not everybody does. So, Shotguns and Tattoos said the eyeglass cams some departments use offer good view. Yes. That's kind of what I was just talking about. Does a police cruiser have a camera? Also, yes, police cruisers usually have a front-facing camera, dash camera, and then they have one that points into the back wherever they may have a suspect, if they've been arrested or detained. The temple cams, we've talked about that. Mr. B, I can imagine Eric's cam view includes a lot of that. He talks with his hands. Yeah. Have you seen the story of the officer that gave his cam to his partner to hold while he stepped away to make a call? No, I haven't seen that one. It all depends on who he's going to talk to. If it's work related, he shouldn't have done that. If I've seen my wife text and it was like, hey, we got a problem at the house or whatever it is, then my body cam doesn't need to hear me or see me talking to my wife about what that is. Chaplain said, your department doesn't dictate policy for where you need to mount your camera. At my department, it is mandatory to mount in a very specific location on the vest if they have an outer carrier. Nope, ours does not. And the reason why we can't dictate that is because people are all sorts of shapes and sizes. And basically, the way that we try to tell people is figure out what works best for you. Because the whole point of the outer carrier as well, in my opinion, is to place things that work best for you. We all have mobility limitations, things that we can get to easier, better, faster. So your setup of your outer carrier should be your preference. Now, there are certain things that you have to carry on your belt. You have to have your gun on your belt. You can't have it on your outer carrier. At my department, can't have your taser on your outer carrier. It's got to be on your belt. You can have your magazines on your carrier, but your weapon system, as far as your things that fire, your taser and your gun, they got to be on your belt. Other than that, everything else is where you want to put it that feels best. And I think that's I really truly think that's the best way. We should FOIA Eric's body cams and shit. Yeah, fucking FOIA my shit. I'm proud of my stuff. There's actually some videos that I'm trying to FOIA myself. I want to put out. I've got some really good CIT stuff that I'm proud of. I'm proud of some of the CIT video stuff that I've dealt with that I want to try to inspire all that other officers not to get impatient. Patience really can pay off. So, one of my videos in particular used by DPS, our Texas DPS, they use it as an example for CIT. So, God, I hate saying it that way. You sound like you're trying to brag. I'm not trying to brag. That's not what I'm trying to get at. I'm proud of the call because I didn't have to use force on something that everybody else was trying to. So if it gives people an example of like, look, this is how you can break down these walls and these barriers, that's what I want to try to do. Freeman said maybe a 360 on the top of your hat. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Harrison said, how is your PT going? My PT is good. I mean, it's funny too. As much as I've sat here and coughed, when I'm out and about during the day and I do my running and stuff, I don't really cough. But as soon as I stop and I start walking, it's like my body knows. Brandar86 said, what do you feel about these departments asking for thousands of dollars for body-worn cameras from FOIA requests? I agree with it. Here's why. Me in particular, because of where I work as a real-time crime center supervisor, I have to deal with the FOIA request. And I got people asking me for 5 years worth of stuff. I did the calculations. I have to pull, the way that it works is the system will only allow you to pull 30 days at a time. So if I have to do 30 days at a time at 5 years, it was going to take me days, mathematically, days to get all this information. So think about that. Think about the manpower that's involved just on my small part. We're talking about license plate reader stuff. This was just on one small thing. License plate reader. Wasn't talking about PTZ videos, nothing else. Body cam videos, nothing like that. Imagine me having to work days to get 5 years of footage for LPR. Certain it wasn't footage, but LPR information. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, that's got to cost money. You are significantly putting departments out with manpower when it comes to getting this stuff. There's not a system yet that AI is getting there. Don't get me wrong. I think AI will eventually get to the point where that's not a problem, where that can just be popped and done. A request is going to be put in the AI. They're going to be, all right, we'll drop it, and it takes minutes. But we're not there yet. Right now, it's still all manual. So, as it stands, no, I totally agree. Now that I'm the one that's got to grab this shit, I'm like, all right, I kind of understand. This is fucking a beat down. And y'all know me. I'm all about getting you your info, but damn, it is I hate it. I hate it. It's a beatdown. I'm telling you. I see the email for a FOIA request. I'm like, oh fuck. It's gonna take so long. I can't do police work while I'm doing this. I hate it. Oh man, I hate it. Eric, a humidifier may help the cough. Heaters have an indoor air. Yeah, possibly, but I'm not at home. I'm not gonna go buy one. Taser, gun on belt, throw down in ankle holster. No, I don't do the ankle holster bullshit. If I can't get it done with everything I got, I'm not carrying an extra gun for the eventuality that I somehow get my gun taken or lost. Or like, I'm just gonna fucking run. I'm gonna take my chances on foot versus carrying that extra gun around all the time. We keep our teapot on the stove. I only have a microwave in this room. If you guys knew, I'm 43 years old. I have a mini fridge and a microwave that I got to live out of. My fridge right now has a bunch of pre-made meals I got from HEB. I had to buy already boiled eggs that have been shelled from HEB. I've got yogurts, some cheese, like cubes of cheese, a bunch of bottled waters, and my C4s for my energy drinks. That's all I can fit in that damn fridge. Oh, and in the freezer, my ice cubes, because I got 3 things of ice cube trays and a couple, 1 bag of frozen burger patties, because that's all that fits up there to make in the microwave. Like I got no room for shit. I can't cook. I can't do shit. I can't even have an air fryer in my room because it's against the rules. So, Brandar, boohoo, live on a ship. I signed up for the Air Force, buddy. That's not a problem that I got to worry about. You signed up for it. So, for me, I can cry because I know what I signed up for. I signed up for lobster. Thank you. Free notice. Thank you for the light. Look, I bought this little light system. I got them on sale. They're by Ulanzi, one of my favorite companies. It's what holds my camera and my lights and all that stuff with my tripods. I got some other stuff by them as well. When I film myself for my little shorts and reels on my phone, I got this whole. It's over there. I'm not gonna go grab it, but it's all by Ulanzi as well. High quality Japanese stuff, honestly. Totally. They're definitely not a sponsor, but highly recommend them. But that is their lights, and those things I can screw those into a tripod. They can magnetize the things, and I got them on sale. They're $45 a piece normally, but I got them for $25. You can change them to any color. They last hours. It's a USB-C charge. And so I was like, why not? Because I knew I do this every year. There's places I go and do live podcasts from. Why not? So I put it on. And it really worked out. Just added a little ambiance, if you will. I do that for you guys. Derek said, my son was shot 10 times with a beanbag shotgun. Was on the ground most of the time, no crime. Damn. I'm sorry to hear that. Let me see. Military logic. E1 can handle munitions and fire with no problems, but is not competent enough to manage a toaster or an air fryer in their barracks. I know. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's crazy. And what sucks is it's my own fault because I didn't really take promotion that serious when I first got into the reserves because I don't care. I'm here for a reason. I'm here for insurance. I'm here to help out and make better cops for the military. That's what I'm here for. So the whole promotion thing, I'm not chasing promotion. Well, that's caught up to me because if I was the rank that I should be one more rank higher. I would have a private room. I wouldn't have to worry about this. But no, I got a shared bathroom. I got a mini fridge and a fucking microwave, and I can't do anything more than that. Is what it is. It's my own fault. Shit. But all right, guys, we're at 2.5 hours. And I'm hungry. I want to eat. I've had a good time tonight. I hope the internet connection kept up. I did find out that we did stay live on TikTok. I can't believe that worked. That's my first time doing that. The only thing that's funny about that, or funnier about that, is that we couldn't get live on Instagram now for some reason. So, is what it is. Harrison said you would be making more money and when you turn 60. Yeah, I definitely will. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to still promote up. I'm going to get as high as they let me, and I'm not going to get out of the military until they force me out. So, so yeah. So Brander, I'm an E6 and I should be an E7. So, as soon as a spot opens up, I'm going to jump on it and do what I got to do. So, but I'm going to try to cough myself to sleep tonight, guys, after I eat some food. And I appreciate everybody. If nobody's got anything else, Free said, well, YouTube Live looks and sounds great. Cool. I appreciate it. Everybody that donated tonight. Thank you very much. Shout out to our sponsors. We've got Ghost Patch. Go to Ghost Patch and ghostpatchcustoms.com if you're looking to get that stuff done. Shout out to Peregrine, peregrine.io. If you are a police officer and you are looking to not be a crappy detective, you want to be like Sherlock Holmes overnight, look into peregrine.io. Yes, like Peregrine the Falcon, peregrine.io. Check them out. And they're not a sponsor yet. Check out Skydio if you guys are into drones and you want your police department or your, let's say you're an electrical worker. You want your power line people to have some great tools at their disposal or whatever it is. Check out Skydio. Retro Rifle. Shout out to them. Boom. But I haven't heard much from Retro Rifle in a while. I'm not sure that they're really sponsoring us anymore. I don't know. They just kind of ghosted us. Not ghost patched us, but ghosted us. So get a cough drop cherry. I got those. Thank you, Derek. I actually have a bag of them back here. I just didn't want you guys to listen to me chomping on some cough drops. And let's see, what else have we got? We hit our sponsors, all that stuff. Find us on everything: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Clapper, LinkedIn. Oh shit, am I missing anything? X. Find us on all those. Go like, follow, subscribe. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It really helps us out. I save all this bullshit stuff for the end. If you've made it this far, we've got like 14 people on, so it's not a ton of people. And I get it. It's an off day. It's a Friday night. I don't blame you for not being on here. But tonight was actually a very fun episode for me. I think we talked about a lot of meaningful stuff. I think we made an impact. I think it will help if anybody else sees us later. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. I hope you guys have a good night. I may try to do another live tomorrow night. We'll see. I don't think I'll be able to do one Sunday night because I got to get up and serve our country at like 3:50 in the morning. So I have to get up really early to check IDs at the gate. Is what it is. So, all right, guys. Take it easy. Have a good night. Later.